Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here to bring you finally another comic book review of Red Hood and the Outlaws, issue 30, At the Mercy of Frankenstein. Alright, so let's get into it. Begins off, Roy Harper, Arsenal is in space, with these three alien hijackers, and as he always does, he's monologuing that, and he's saying how, there's these three, guys that can regenerate and all that. So it makes them difficult to deal with, but not impossible. So he's all geared up. He has all these wires and stuff connected to his arrows, and he's ready to go. It says the big picture part 2. Red Hood and Starfire are at the former headquarters of the Blackhawks, and they're looking for a ship. And it's all abandoned and rickety and messed up. And this guy, Carl, who is apparently a robot android type guy, is asking, may I help you? He says, Red Hood tells him, and who might you be? So, says, Carl, I work in IT. As a matter of fact, Carl, you can help us. There's a certain vehicle we need to borrow. Slip ship, silver, 2-seater, low mileage. Then he says, I'm sorry, I can't allow you access to Blackhawk property. And he says, don't worry, sweat it, Carl. I'm sure we can find it ourselves. And then he says, I'm sorry, sir, ma'am, but as I said, I cannot allow you to do that. And he turns into this huge freaking, not huge really, but he becomes like all these weapons and cannons and laser eyeballs and stuff. It's really, really cool, actually. He starts shooting at them, zing, zing, all that. They duck behind like a piece of the floor because it is all messed up, this headquarters. And Starfire just gives him one blast and he goes whoosh. So, well, he's still alive, so they find the slip ship, they get on it, and Carl, the android, is freaking trying to tail him because he can sort of fly, I guess. And then we go back to Roy Harper. He says, he shoots the three freaking hijackers with his wired arrows, and they start to beat him up. But it's it's all going according to plan, according to Arsenal. He's saying make them think that they've won until bingo, and then you go right back on to Red and Starfire. Starfire is asking Red Hood why they had to steal this ship before they had to get to another ship. And, basically, Red Hood explains, well, we have to get to this ship because this can morph to a wormhole, and to get to that ship that can blah 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 blah. So just blase talk, really. But Starfire says it sounds a lot like nonsense, and Red Hood replies by saying, says the space princess to the resurrected Robin. And they go into the little wormhole on the slip ship, and back to Roy Harper. He flips a switch on his back that electroshocks the arrows, and just like that, all three of the spaceship hijackers are down for the count. And back to Red Hood and Starfire. They're in Metropolis, right next to the Daily Bugle, and the pocket dimension, which is what they need to get to, is like sitting like right next to the little Daily Bugle, and they run into it, I guess. They warp, and we see Frankenstein in the whole Agents of Shade like little area, the little girl hologram is, tell him that he's got, a job to do, and just as Frankenstein's about to buckle up for that, he starts hearing a buzzing. He says, "What's that buzzing?" And the slip ship comes crashing through, and they make a little crash landing there, Starfire and Red Hood. And, in the debris, Frankenstein, runs through the debris, starts fighting Red Hood, and Red Hood is sort of cocky. He's sort of making fun of him, never fought someone that was trained by the League of Assassins, and then, of course, Frankenstein being Frankenstein, he kind of overpowers him, just smacks him into a wall. Starfire starts fighting him, he gets set on fire. He says, attack me with fire, you've never met a person like me before. So Starfire uses some space, atomic power, and that crack-a-thoom, the explosion. Red is hiding behind, I think, a turbine of a spaceship. So they get in on the ship that they need to find Roy Harper, in a matter of seconds, get his coordinates and all that. So Red Hood asks Starfire if she can handle it, flying this particular vehicle, because she is a pilot. She says a patchwork craft design and built by scientists from a Class 82 galactic power. Yes, I think I can manage it. So, and just lastly, Frankenstein jumps on top of the ship, pulls Red Hood out of it, out of the little cockpit, the entrance. And, he's saying Red Hood says, "You idiot, what are you doing? We're taking off. You're going to get us both killed." And Frankenstein replies with, "A wise man once said, we belong dead." And then a voice says, "Excuse me." And it's freaking Carl. He freaking subdues Frankenstein. He said, "I should inform you that the final security protocol has been initiated. Protocol sequence will reach completion in 3, 2, 1. Red Hood jumps back into the cockpit, and they fly off out of the little wormhole entrance of, I guess, the Shade headquarters, and says, "Not quite sure what happened back there, Corey, but we're out of here." That's what he says, and Frankenstein, I guess, decapitates Carl, the android, as he's, saying, "Excuse me," and he says, "This isn't over. I'll finish this as the last thing I do." So, blah, blah, blah. And, and then back to Arsenal. He says, "Okay, first thing, aspirin, a big bottle of aspirin." And then, he makes contact with Red Hood and Starfire as they're, he tells them everything that happened, and that he dealt with it. And, Red Hood, assures Roy that they'll be there in a few minutes. So, then Roy hears a buzzing, and he gets, zapped by this little energy beam or whatever. And then has his, there's a boot, on his neck. And the voice says, "Don't waste your breath. I'm going to take it away in a few seconds anyway. I've been watching you, listening to. I've seen everything you did, and I've heard everything you had to say. Those 3 idiots I hired to take care of them, you took care of them pretty easy. Well, good for you. Saves me the trouble of paying them off. One less loose end to tie up. Of course, there's still you, and you're not going to be a problem for much longer. Then your friends. Don't worry, you'll see them soon. I'm going to kill them as soon as they show up. And then after you're dead, and they're dead, and I'm the only one standing, you know what I'm going to do for an encore? I'm going to take that great big gun, and I'm going to destroy your whole planet. Booyah!" And of course, the voice saying that zapped him, who has his boot on his neck, is none other than my man, your man, the main man, Lobo. Alright, so, next issue, Arsenal versus Lobo, or actually the entire Outlaws. It's good to see Lobo back. You know, I'm probably going to drop this title after that issue. This was really just a setup issue. It was alright for a $2.99 book. There wasn't particularly, you know, the fight that I was expecting from Red Hood and Starfire at the in Frankenstein, but you know he'll be in, you know, Batman and Frankenstein next month. So yeah, alright issue, and you know, big fan of Lobo. Hopefully, we'll be cosplaying him later this year. So look for that. So yeah, thanks you guys for watching. Follow me on Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram. Like this video, subscribe for more, and I'll see y'all next time. Love you. Peace.